Efficient algorithms for mining high utility item set from the transaction database. This is the title of our project. Now let's see the abstract. Nowadays the high utility transaction database it's get increasing. So if the user need to retrieve the particular information from the transaction from the high utility transaction database, it will be a tedious process. In order to overcome those process, we propose an efficient algorithm called UP growth, that is utility pattern growth, and UP plus, that is utility pattern growth plus algorithms. Those those algorithms are those algorithms are proposed in order to retrieve the efficient information from the transactional database in order to minimize the in existing system. Suppose if the user need to retrieve the information from the database, it consumes loads of time and it will be the processing steps of the more than our proposal. The high utility transaction database contains a huge quantity of records. There will be a lag in the information retrieval in the existing system in order to retrieve the information in the most efficient manner. So in our proposed system, the transaction database will be formatted into the UP based on the user criteria. The transaction database formatted into a tree structure so that the values so that the information can be easily accessible, and also information can be easily sorted out by means of the user requirement. Implementing these two effective algorithms, we can able to reduce the execution time as well as the resource consumption of the information retrieval process. Now let's see the data flow diagram of our project. Here user need to provide the synthetic data set, which will be the high utility transactional database, which will have the of fields, that is attributes. After acquiring the dataset from the user, we need to the classification of dataset will be carried out by means of clustering, that is based on some various factor. The dataset will be clustered into a various group so that we can able to identify the group, so that we can able to determine the values of the group. Because in the dataset we need to export the dataset into the database. After the dataset is fed into the database, it will be processed for the further process. After we acquire the transaction dataset in the database, we will be proceeding with that process. The dominated item set will be find out. For example, suppose if the sales will not be dominated by any other product sales. So as well as the least minimum product sale rate will not be dominated by any other product least minimum rate. So that we need to determine the most dominant item set from the high utility transactional data set. So after finding out the dominated item set, we need to compare. During this comparison, each and every record will be compared with those. So during this comparison, each and every record will be compared with the neighboring similar records to make use of utility pattern growth and as well as the utility pattern growth plus in order to effectively formulate the dataset into a tree structure. That structure will be formulated based on the maximum value, that is the product with the most sale rate will be the root. Remaining records will be the leaf node for that in the tree structure. So by formulating the transaction dataset into a tree structure, we can able to easily access the each and every record in the tree, so that it will minimize the execution time as well as the resource consumption. So every information that can be retrieved from the database for this tree formulation. So after the formatting the tree, we can able to determine the top node, which will be the top product with the most maximum sale rate. So by doing this, we can able to retrieve the efficient information from the high utility transaction data set by minimizing the execution time as well as the resource consumption. Now let's see the demo of the project. This is the home screen of our project. Here we need to select the high utility transaction data set. After selection of the data set, we need to extract the information. This automatically the information will be extracted as long as the information is fed into the database. Now the information in the dataset will be inserted into the database. These are the information of the dataset will be calculated. After that, we can able to see the dataset from the data. These are the properties, that is these are the properties of the dataset. That is, we can able here we calculated the total number of customers in the dataset. We calculated the total number of transactions that is made by the customers in the dataset, and we calculated the total distinct product that are available in the dataset. And these are the total managers who deals with the items in the dataset. And we calculated, and here we evaluated the total profit that is gained from the dataset. After acquiring those values, we can check the provider status. That is, these are the product name which is available in our database, and we can able to check its status. Here this is the annual sale quantity. After that, here we evaluated total number of here we evaluated the total number of profit gained by this product. After that, we can able to determine the total number of working hours by the employees who deals with this product. These are some parameters which deals with this product name. Let's proceed. After that, we need to acquire the probability value of the dataset. These are the probability values by which, that is, which product should be the topmost one. So we need to determine the probability. After acquiring the probability of the dataset, we need to generate the ranking method. So after acquiring the probability record, we can go for the ranking. We can able to evaluate the total gaining percentage of this transaction data set, as well as we can able to determine the total rank annual sale, and we can able to determine the maximum customers who plays an important role in our transaction database. Let's show all the results. So after evaluating overall process, after evaluating the ranking process, we can able to cluster the transaction database by means of ranking. So after acquiring the profitable records, we can able to determine the which product is at maximum profit percentage. After that, we can able to determine which product will have the maximum customers. Then we can able to calculate the which product will have the maximum annual sale rate. After that, we can able to determine the product in which the maximum investment was made. Let's compute. Now we cluster the transaction database by means of various factors such as maximum profit, maximum customer, maximum annual rate, and maximum investment. Let's proceed. By clustering the various information, that is, by clustering the various information by means of formatting tree by using the utility pattern growth plus algorithm, we can able to detect three product with the maximum profit rate. These are the top three product which is needed by the customer along with the profitable rate. Let's proceed. Now this is the resultant of the tree. This is the resultant information of the transaction database after formatting the tree section by using the utility pattern and utility pattern growth plus algorithm. This graph is used to visually represent the product represent the product which have the high profitable rate as well as the high customer rate by using the utility pattern and utility pattern growth algorithm. So by our proposal, we implemented a framework for the automation of the information retrieval from the transaction database in a most effective manner. By doing so, we can able to minimize the execution time as well as the memory as well as the resource consumption. Thank you.